33 Days of Love Challenge series. I'm your host, Bill Hargenrader, founder of Next Level Life and co-author of the upcoming book, Love, Forgive, Never Give Up. I'm here today with an expert in science, an expert in passion, and yes, a messenger of love, a good friend of mine, Ron Sparkman. Ron, welcome.
How's it going, Bill? Good to see you.
Good seeing you, brother, man. So I'm going to start things off. Ron's going to share a story and a takeaway for our series. And basically each day in the 33 Days of Love challenge series, we're going to share an empowering story and give you a takeaway that you can, find more love in your life or realize more love every single day. Ron Sparkman is a career DJ whose world was forever changed after watching the Neil deGrasse Tyson-led reboot of Cosmos. Since then, he founded the space news and STEM advocacy website, the space certified opportunityu.com, which is celebrating its 2-year anniversary this week. Congrats. He's a passionate science communicator that will tell anyone who listens about his love of the cosmos, as well as an avid traveler who loves to see what the one planet we do has to offer. Hint, it's a lot. We can go on and on. I work with Ron on a daily basis with True Use Solutions, Diabetes Dominator Coaching, and the Isle of Mars and Mars Now team. But instead of going on and on, Ron, I'm going to turn it over to you, brother. What story do you have to share for us?
Well, I think so many people out there are always kind of worried about how they're going to find love outside of themselves and in somebody else. And for me, it was something that I really kind of had an issue with throughout my life. I was single for the majority of my life. I was when I found what I'm truly passionate about now. I was going through a very difficult breakup with somebody that I'd been with for a long time. I made a lot of mistakes. She'd made a lot of mistakes, and we learned, and we both certainly grew from it. But I was certainly in a place I didn't really know what was next. And then one night I was sitting at home, and it was after a long night at work, and Cosmos came on, and man, I fell in love with it. It was by the end of that first 15 minutes when Neil is taking you on this journey through everything that's out there in the cosmos and just kind of what it looks like out there and just how big it is and how amazing it is. It kind of puts it all in perspective that some of the things that we think are a little are so serious really aren't that serious after all. We're just one little tiny rock that's going over, in orbit around one mediocre sized star, in one of 2 trillion galaxies. And that really kind of put some things in perspective for me. And after that, man, it completely changed everything. And I've been very fortunate since then to kind of go on a separate path and kind of really start running after that and really seeing what space can do. And then just the space and science community and just how welcoming they are to really kind of anybody that shows how passionate they are about it. So it's been very fortunate for me that I've had a couple different loves and passions in my life. It started with martial arts, then went to DJing, and now it's space and science. And it's just, it's seeing really what's next. That opened up a whole lot of other doors for me. I fell in love with a whole lot of other things, and I found out a little bit more about myself.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And so I like that that you're being open to it. It sounds almost like you hear the Tony Robbins story where I was on the couch and it was midnight and I was watching Tony Robbins and I took out my credit card and I signed up for the Date with Destiny. But in this case, you're I'm on my couch and I'm watching Neil deGrasse Tyson, and so it's kind of, maybe you could talk a little bit about how your love of science, love of communicating science, you're not alone in that. I mean, there's lots of people out there. So if somebody does have something that they're passionate about, let's just focus in on science. What are some things that they can do?
I mean, it's really kind of cool that we're having this conversation today, because I was interviewing somebody yesterday that has exactly the same thing. I just kind of went down the same path. Fraser Kane of Universe Today is basically just a regular guy that's just getting out there and doing it. And that's really what it is. It's getting out there and just realizing that you really, really love something. And you don't have to be an expert on it. If you love something and you've really started to get that passion, go out and ask questions. And the cool part about it is, show it on Facebook Live. Show you talking to one of the people that knows whatever it is, as much as they can know about whatever it is that you're passionate about. Talk to them about it, share it with the world, and just kind of get out there and educate yourself. I mean, that's the most important thing I can tell anybody. You know, education never ends. It never should, and it should not be a 4-letter word. You know, it's something that you should really, really always love and enjoy, and find something that you love learning. If you found something you love learning, it's going to come through when you're communicating it to people, and they're going to see your passion in it, and it's going to come right back to you. It doesn't matter. It can be personal development. It can be, you know, diabetes with what, you know, Danielle has done, Bill's wife's done. It can be space and science for me. There's so many different things that you can do. Find something you love, and then just really pour your heart and soul in it, and just keep at it, and you'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. It's basically, sometimes people are taught, like, just work that job and eventually you'll get to do what you love. And you're basically saying, do what you love, make it your job, you know, in essence.
Yeah.
And that's a better way to do it, right?
Do what you can when you can. You know, if you're doing something that you're out there, you know, there's a lot of people that will say that, you know, that will say that taking 3 or 4 years and really sacrificing a lot of your time in developing a new skill is just a kind of a pipe dream. But they'll spend 30 or 40 years in a dead end job, you know, and never thing. Like, I really kind of like that. I've met so many people in space and science fields that have sacrificed a lot to be able to live some amazing lives. So they're traveling, they're all over the world, but it's because they're spending, you know, the salary that they have every year doing what they're doing to go out and see the world, but they're doing their work. They kind of get out there and really see what they can make of it. So yeah, like, while you're doing it, you know, it's most people aren't tired from their job. They're uninspired. Go home and do the things that you really love to do, and find a way that you can maybe make.
Yeah, totally. Broke up a little there on my end. Are you with us still?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, sweet. Yeah, so I like that line, because, you know, I'm sitting here today doing this interview series. I got 7 interviews lined up, and I'm not tired from them. Like, I'm excited by them. I'm going to the next one, and like, my energy is improving. And so that's a good test. A good way of knowing if something is something that you're passionate about, something that you love, because, like you said, you're not tired, you're uninspired, and if you're inspired, that can actually give you energy. And actually, as we're talking here, we got the Mars and the heart in the background, and you and I work together on I Love Mars. For me personally, I think the humans getting to Mars, even though I love Mars, I love Earth as well. I love humans, I love progress, and I think us coming together to overcome challenges like becoming an interplanetary species is one of the best things, highest level of efforts that we can achieve. You have a different stake. You want to go to Mars, right?
I absolutely want to go. Yeah, really kind of the thing for me is that as I found that love for it, I really kind of wanted to be part of a group of people that gets out there. I follow pretty much everything that Elon Musk does. I even watched the new South Park episode, which he's on. He actually brought his voice to the show because Cartman wants to go to Mars because some things are going on. So they go to SpaceX, and Elon Musk actually takes them on the tour. I love this guy. He's great. But he's really, and it's not just what he wants to do with Mars. It's what he's doing with solar. It's what he's doing with electric cars. But specifically, it really comes to space. Like, you hear so many of these people that have been to space, our astronauts from around the world, that say once you go up there, it changes everything. Once you see the world from space, it's just, that's it. It's just, you have that orbital perspective, that cosmic perspective. They come back and they have to write a book about it. They have to share the pictures that they took from space. So for me, it's just, I believe that whenever commercial space flight becomes the norm and more people can see it and we can see the world without borders, that it's going to change everything. Specifically when we get to being a multiplanetary species. You do Mars and we learn how to really live on an inhospitable planet. Think of the things that we'll learn from that can help us back home. How we're going to be able to continue to make sure that our world is safe for life as we know it. The things that we'll learn about farming and gardening and living together, and maybe the different ideas that are going to stem from that. We've got a lot that can really come from that. So I'm interested to get out there and see the solar system as much as I can see. I don't care if you shoot me up, I see the Earth and I come back. Somehow I'm getting up there, but Mars is the goal, certainly.
Awesome, brother. Well, I love it, man. We're keeping the 33 Days of Love series short, so we're coming up on our 10-minute point. Thanks for sharing your stories, and thanks for sharing your lessons, Ron. I'm learning some things, and I'm really inspired by your passion. So thanks for taking the time today.
Absolutely, glad to be involved, and can't wait to see everybody else's as well.
Awesome, brother. So great. Well, appreciate you tuning in this day for the 33 Days of Love Challenge. Everything ties into our book that I'm co-authoring with Danielle, Love, Forgive, Never Give Up. So go to loveforgivenevergiveUp.com. Find out more about the book. Ron's going to be a featured expert in the series that we're going to highlight more of his work. So go loveforgivenevergiveup.com. Check that out. Appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next video. Take care, Ron.
Bye, guys.